Yeah, investors are focusing, of course. The end of the shutdown is part of the puzzle here. But this week's Federal Reserve meeting is coming up. You've got high-level trade talks with China. The jobs report is coming out Friday. And, of course, what's going to happen with these congressional negotiations and if there's going to be any deal on any kind of border wall or barrier or whatever. Belpointe Chief Strategist David Nelson joins us now. There is a lot of moving parts for the street to really watch right now. But let's start with the end of the shutdown. We did see a jump in markets on Friday based on the news that they had come to a 3-week deal. Are you still positive this Monday about a shutdown averted and crisis averted about the wall?
Well, so look, the shutdown was certainly important politically, and but from the moment the shutdown started on December 22nd, in 21 trading days, we were up over 10%. So obviously the markets were focused somewhere else. And I think now that we're heading into a new week, I think what's really important for the markets is the usual suspects. You have earnings, an FOMC meeting, and a decision on Wednesday, and of course the China trade talks and a jobs number on Friday. That's what markets really care about. I think that for investors, the shutdown was really not the important issue.
All right. What about GDP, though? Because Kevin Hassett had come out last week, this was Wednesday of last week, and said, look, if this shutdown goes through the first quarter, you're going to have zero growth in the economy. But we still did have more than 30 days of shutdown. Are you worried about the GDP read we're going to get for Q1?
We're going to get a revision, and it's probably going to be lower, and it's going to probably be about 0.5%. That's where most economists are coming in at. But we're going to get it back in the second quarter. So, again, it gets pushed forward. It's maybe a short-term hit, but it's not really important for the markets, and the markets proved that last week.
All right, cool. Let's move on to what's happening with the Fed this week. You've got this 2-day FOMC meeting. There is going to be a press conference. We're always listening to that. Messaging has been kind of on and off track, really, for Jerome Powell. But big news on Friday was the fact that they may be ending the wind down of the bond portfolio and keeping more assets on their books. Markets seem to like that. Do you like that, David?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm fully in the camp of normalization. I've been a long-term critic of the Fed, and I certainly thought that what we saw last year, that was a policy mistake that pushed up rates too fast last year, and unnecessarily because the inflation just wasn't there. But we need to roll off the balance sheet. I think the big issue wasn't that we needed to do it, was the fact that the pace was just too fast. We were coming off at about $50 billion a month. We probably averaged it out at around 35. It's probably got to be something slower than that. But even if we go down another $1.5 trillion, that would only get us to where we were in 2010. So I would be disappointed if the Fed makes a decision that this is it. This is as far as we're going.
Interesting. We'll see how markets react if that indeed is the decision. Real quick, I got to ask you about China. You got these high-level trade talks, 2 days in Washington. The Chinese Vice Premier Liu He is going to be in town. You optimistic? I mean, there hasn't been a lot of really movement forward between ourselves and China.
There's been some announcements about closing the trade deficit, and I think we can take some solace in that. But the big number and the big kahuna here, that's clearly intellectual property. And that's likely something President Xi doesn't want to move on because of their 2025 policy. This is where the president needs to draw his line in the sand, because I think it's important for viewers to understand we're not negotiating with a partner or even a competitor. This is an adversary on every level, whether it's economically, trade, certainly foreign policy, and even militarily. We're going to be fighting against this. And even after a deal happens, and we'll likely get one at some point, they're going to cheat on it. We're going to have to come back to the table again.
I was just going to say, that line in the sand, it's Robert Lighthizer with a big stick, and he's the one that's putting it down there, and I don't think he's going to budge as well. I don't think the president will either. No, I think you're right.
I hope he doesn't.
David, thank you very much. A lot to go through. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Cheryl.